There we go. Okay. I will pop some music on. You don't hear the music on the video, you only hear my voice. I don't know whether that's a good thing or not. You might have to put your own music on. Okay, so shuffle halfway along the chair. We'll start with some shoulder rolls. Take the shoulders up and back and down. And then let's go one more backwards. And then change direction. Roll the shoulders forwards. And one more. And then we're going to come into some neck turns. Turn to look over the shoulder and through the center over to the other side. One more time. Look over the shoulder and through the center over to the other side. Back to the center. Bring chin to chest. And then eye gaze to the ceiling. Let's do that one more time. Chin to chest. And then eye gaze to the ceiling. And then bring that back to the center. Okay, coming into some side bends. Letting a hand drop down to the side. Bring that through the center down to the other side. So nice and soft through the shoulders. And then if you want a little bit more, we can add an opposite hand to the ceiling, maybe looking up towards that hand. We're trying not to rotate, so we're keeping the arm in line with the ear, or the ear in line with the shoulder on the opposite side. So you don't have to have the arms in if that's too much for shoulders. Otherwise, it's just going to give us a little bit more length through the side of the body. And then rest it down. Okay. A little bit of rotation. We take a hand across the body. So we're reaching a flat palm away. And then draw that elbow back as we look over the shoulder. So we've got a twist happening around the waist. Keeping the shoulder down away from the ears. That's it. So just keep going with a few of those. So it's going to open out into the back of that shoulder, open out the chest when we draw that elbow back, as well as give us some spinal mobility work. Let's do one more. And then rest that arm down. We're going to do the same thing. So we take the elbow up and reach the hand across the body and then draw the elbow back. So we've got that twist around the waist, as well as opening out into the shoulder, opening out the chest. Let's do one more here. And then rest it down, reset those shoulders. Okay. Going to just come into some heel raises, so peeling an alternate heel up off the floor, mobilizing through those toe joints. And then taking that into a little seated march. Get the blood circulating around the body. And while we're doing, once you've got the rhythm of that, just think about that corset of muscle wrapping around the front of the body. So it just stabilizes that central part. Ooh, opposite arm, opposite leg. That's it, and then rest it down. Okay, one last little bit for our arms and shoulders before we come into standing. So we're sweeping the arms into a Y shape. Take a bend in the elbow, bring the hands behind the head. Scrunch the shoulders up to the ears, and then draw the shoulder blades down your back. Release the arms, and then send the palms down. So this is shoulder mobility, a little bit of strength work here as well. And also just really trying to get those shoulders away from the ears. So if you're someone who knows that you hunch your shoulders up by your ears, this is a really good one to do. That's it. So we hunch up where we don't want our shoulders. Draw the shoulders down. Straighten the arms. Let's make this the last one. Bend the elbows. Scrunch up. Draw the shoulders down. And then rest those shoulders. Okay, shuffle towards the front edge of the chair if you're not already there. And then we just take a little pedal through those feet. We're going to just prepare those legs to take our weight into standing. And then when you're ready, bring yourself up to a standing position. Come and stand behind your chair to begin with. I'm just going to pop my chair on the diagonal. So the chair is there for support should you need it. If you know that you are quite happy with your balance today and you don't need the chair, just have it somewhere within fingertips reach, but you don't necessarily need to be directly behind it. Okay, we're going to start with some heel raises. So just peeling an alternate heel up off the floor, same as we did seated. And if at any point anybody does want to sit down, and I will just adapt the exercises as needed. So we've got that alternate heel raise. So making sure that we can feel the ball of the foot underneath the big toe. And if you're then able to bring that up to a march, we could be holding onto the chair. So we could have both hands on the chair if you need to. You could have one hand on the chair, or opposite arm, opposite leg. So just get the rhythm of it. Don't overthink it. Opposite arm, opposite leg will help with balance. Focus the eye gaze about 2 meters in front, growing tall through the crown of the head, and thinking about switching on that corset of muscle wrapping around the front of the body. And then gradually make that smaller, make that smaller. Now, I would suggest just coming behind the chair if you're not already there. We're going to bring the heels up towards the bum. So just starting to get a little bit of length through those quadriceps and just warming those muscles in particular. So if you have any knee issues, just be careful with this one. Just take that gently. Just kicking the heel up to the bum. That's it. Do one more each side. And then rest it up. Okay, still staying behind the chair. So we're going to come into our half roll down. So we're thinking just the upper part of the spine. We're curving forwards. If you've got any particular issues with your neck, or you know that you've got any bone issues, then I want you to stay holding onto the chair so that this is supported. If you know that you haven't got any issues there, then you can let the hands just dangle in front of the body. Okay, so I'm going to do the supported version first, and then I'll do the free version. So nice and tall to begin with. Take a breath in. As we breathe out, gently nod the chin towards the chest, and then we curve forward. Upper body only for the time being. We're just getting that little bit of support on the chest, so we're not loading the spine. Take a moment there. Take a breath in. As we breathe out, we curl back up again, and then reset head, neck, and shoulders. So I'm going to do a version without holding onto the chair. Stay holding onto the chair if those issues that I mentioned apply to you. Take a breath in. As we breathe out, we curl forward. So to knee height, to be a little bit safer, you could come down towards the floor if you know that you don't have any issues that you're concerned about with your neck or your spine or any bone issues. And then we curl back up again, keep that chin tucked in, restack the spine, and reset head, neck, and shoulders. Just take a little step through those feet, give those hips a rock from side to side. Okay, we're going to come into some squats. So again, behind the chair for support, but if you're happy that you don't need any balance support, then we can be free of the chair. So our feet are parallel and our knees are also in line. So with this squat position, this is the most protected version for the knees. It's a fantastic functional movement. It helps protect our lower back when we are reaching down towards something lower. Works quads, hamstrings, glutes. Very important muscles to stay strong because that keeps us steady when we're on our feet. So we're going to start with a parallel position. Remember, we send the hips back first of all. So we hinge the hips back, then allow the knees to bend. So the chair can just help remind you to keep that chest up. Then push through the heels to bring you back up. So remember, hinge the hip first before you bend the knees. That's where people tend to just go a little bit wrong. Okay, let's try that again. Take a breath in as we breathe out. Send the hips back first, then let the knees bend. There we go. That's it. So the weight is backwards. The weight is in the heels. Then push through the heels to bring you back up. We're going to do a couple more like that. Take a breath in. As we breathe out, hips back first. Yep, please feel free to hold on to the chair. That's it. Now just pause there. Look at your knees. Are they still parallel? If they're not, make them parallel. Then push into the heels, bring it back up again. If you have a habit of letting the knees fold in, then I would suggest popping a sofa cushion between the knees if you do practice this at home, just to keep the knees in position. One more time like this. Take a breath in as we breathe out. Send the hips back, holding onto the chair maybe. Push through the heels, bring it back up, and then rest it up. Okay, give those legs a little shake out. We're going to change our foot position. Knees should be okay, but obviously, you know, if it's causing any significant discomfort, this is the most protected position for knees. So parallel feet, hip socket width apart. We're going to step the feet a little bit wider. So if you were looking at the mat, they're just about, it would be edges of the mat. Our feet would be about edges of the mat. So we've got a wide stance. We're going to do a squat again, but our feet are parallel. So the knees again are protected because we're not taking the knees out of alignment. Same thing, send the hips back first. Then let the knees bend. That's it. Then push through the heels. So this is just going to change up the muscle recruitment a little bit. Maybe you might feel a little bit more glute work with this one, a little bit more into the side of the hip. Let's do a couple more like this. Wide stance. Breathe in and breathe out. We send the hips back. That's it. Push through the heels to bring it up. We're going to go 3 more. Breathe in and breathe out. Send the hips back. That's it. Then push through the heels. Protect the knees. Work the glutes. 2 more. Send the hips back. That's it. Good form, guys. Push through the heels. So make sure that when we send the hips back, that the knees bend as well. The upper body stays very upright. So let those knees bend. Then push through the heels. Last one. Breathe in and breathe out. Send the hips back. Let the knees bend. Push through the heels. Bring it back up and then give those legs a little shake out. Okay. We're going to grab the band. We're going to come into some bicep to tricep work. So you could, if the band is uncomfortable, you could use the hand weight instead, okay? So Moira, I would say use the hand weight. Maggie, I think if your wrists are a problem, use the hand weight. Moira, well, I think the hand weight is going to be better for you as well today, so forget the band. Have it anyway. Yeah, okay. Have it anyway. See how you feel. See how you feel with it. What I don't want you to do is feel unbalanced. Right, so have a little look at me first. If you're using the band, and I'll show you with the hand weight. So you only need one hand weight. If you're my height or smaller, you only need, you'll be able to step both feet onto the band, and the band is then going to come over the back of one hand, okay? With the hand weight, forget the band, we're just going to stand mid-stance, and we're just holding one hand weight by our side, okay? So we're standing on the band. That's it. No. So I'm just trying to say, Moira, this is you. Okay, forget that. This is you. Okay. That's it, Georgie. You've got it. So wrap the band. Oh, if you are using the band, wrap the band over the outside of the hand. Okay, and then your knuckles are into your leg. Your thumb is pointing forwards. We're going to come to tricep and biceps work. Okay, so this upper part of the arm, chest and shoulder is going to get some work too. Let me show you with the hand weight. To shoulder, bring the hand down to the side, we take the arm straight back. Okay, so it's this movement. Yeah. With the band, you can add some resistance on if you want to. So the tighter the band, the harder it's going to be. It's like lifting a heavier weight. So with the same thing, thumb to shoulder, we bring the hand back down, or the arm back down to your hip. Now, straight arm, we send that arm straight back without letting the shoulder or the body twist round. Bring it back into the center. Okay, try it again. So take the arm to your shoulder, elbow tucked into your waist. Check your wrist, nice and straight and strong. Straighten the arm down, and then send that arm straight back. Again, wrist nice and straight and strong. Keep going. That's it. So bicep here, we've got a bicep curl, biceps are working, straighten the arms, then we're extending the bicep muscles, and then we're working the tricep muscles. Let me come to the side. Let's keep going on this side. So we've got a bicep curl, straighten the arm, elbow still to the waist, then we send that arm straight back. That's it. So nice and steady with the form. Good stuff. So when we put the biceps into extension and then we contract the muscle, we're working them way more fully than if we just did from the waist up to the shoulder. Let's do one more. So bicep curl, elbow tucked in, and then bring that arm down, take that arm straight back. That's it. Good stuff. Okay, give that arm a little shake. We're going to go the other side. So same thing. So if your hand weight, you just switch the hand weight to the other side. On the band, we're going to lay the band down, step on the band, and then just lay the band over the back of the hand. Oh, watch that hand weight. Okay. All right then, guys. So this is probably your weaker arm. We naturally would have started with our stronger, not necessarily, but most people would start with their stronger arm just instinctively. So it might feel that you need a little bit less resistance on this one. Okay, so hand by our side, knuckles, palms facing in, thumb is out, thumb is sticking out, and then we take the thumb to your shoulder, elbow tucked in, and then straighten the arm, send the arm straight back. Just check those wrists aren't doing any bendy flexy stuff. So your palm is always facing your body, elbow is tucked into the waist. Straighten the arm back. That's it. So we want to protect. This is going to be strengthening the wrist joints, but we don't want to be putting them under tension in a flexed or extended position because that just might be a little bit too much. So keep going with that. You might want to put a bit more resistance on or take some resistance off. Just keep that elbow tucked in when you come to that bicep curl, because the temptation is to let your shoulder do the work by doing that. That's your shoulder, that's not your biceps. So let's try to keep that elbow tucked in to get those biceps working. Keep that elbow tucked right into the body. That's it. Do one more. I haven't said anything about breathing. Breathe. And then rest it down. Okay, come off the band. And we're going to give those shoulders a roll forwards and a roll backwards. Okay, we're going to come into a seated position for our next one. So just be careful if you're moving the chairs around and there's a weight on your chair. I'm just going to fall on toes. There we go. Okay. So let's just take a moment to loosen off those muscles that we've just worked. When you're ready, we're going to take the arms into a T shape and then rotate the thumbs down and reach the fingertips away. This will probably feel a bit uncomfortable, as long as it's not painful. Reach the fingertips away. It's going to lengthen through those muscles in the arms. And then rest the arms down. Fingertips to shoulder. Then send the elbow up to the ceiling. Try not to bunch this shoulder up by the ear. It's going to raise a little bit. If you want a bit more of a stretch for these triceps, we can give the hand a little bit of pressure here. Some of you might be able to increase the stretch by bringing that arm up. Don't worry if that is not doable. Stay here. And we go the other side. So fingertips to shoulder, elbow up. That may be enough of a stretch. You can add a bit more of a stretch here with the fingertips, or we can add even more of a stretch and bring that arm up. And then rest it down. Okay, reset those shoulders. Okay, we are going to use, for those of you who are using your band, you're going to use your band. I will show you how to do the hand weights with this one, so just give me a second. So this one, I'm going to do a little bit of upper body work as well. We're taking the band over our thighs. We send the palms back, and then we look over one shoulder. We look over one shoulder. We bring it back to the center, and we rest it down. So abdominals are going to be working, our core muscles really are going to be working. Chest, it's called a chest expander, so our pectoral muscles. We've got some tricep work here going on here as well. You might feel a little bit sore in your those tricep muscles after this one. Somebody was asking me about what's the best exercises for bingo wings, and so I've added some, this is why I've added some extra tricep work in for this one. Okay, so with the hand weights, ignore the band. Oh, I've only got one hand weight. I need two. One sec. I'm sure I've got one in there. Oh, I'm going to knit that one. Sorry, Myra. So with the hand weight, so if you were at home and you were using tins, we'd send, so knuckles facing forwards, use both of them, send both the arms back, then we do our neck turns, and then we bring the hands back to the center. Okay, so it's a pressing the palms back, just so we're getting that little bit of extra arm and shoulder work. Okay, when you're ready. So we need to be halfway to, or towards the front of the chair. We've got the band over the front of those calves. You decide how much tension to put on the band. So take a breath in. As we breathe out, send the arms back. Nice straight arms. So really straighten those. That's it. Send the shoulders down. Now we look over one shoulder. Keep the tension on the band. So head through the center. We look to the other side. Bring it to the center and rest it down. Ooh. So you can feel those tummy muscles working, hopefully, as well as the chest, shoulders, and arms. So let's have another go. You decide how much tension to put on the band. If you put a lot of tension on the band, then you're going to be working super hard. It's up to you. So even the pink band's still going to be working really hard. Okay, let's try that again. So sitting up nice and tall, take a breath in. As we breathe out, we send the band back. Nice straight arms, straight wrists. Then add the neck turn to look over the shoulder, through the center, over to the other side, to the center, and rest it down. Okay, roll through the shoulder. We're going to do 2 more times with that one. So like I said, you could do that with holding the hand weights or tins at home. Take a breath in. As we breathe out, we send the band back. Nice and tall. Brace those tummy muscles. Turn to look over the shoulder, through the center, over to the other side, to the center, and rest it down. Okay, let's do that one more time. Take the resistance on. Add resistance on, or take it off if you need to. Take a breath in. As we breathe out, we send the hands back. Turn to look over the shoulder, through the center, over to the other side. Bring it back to the center and rest it down. It's harder than it looks, isn't it? Why is that so hard? Let's give those wrists a turn. I think it's because so much is working all at once to hold that position. Okay, we're going to take a little rock from side to side. So lift the sit bones. And then a backward shoulder roll. And then come into some pelvic tilts. So just a gentle rock of the pelvis backwards and forwards. So front of the sit bones to the back of the sit bones. Just get a little bit of a tilt through the pelvis, loosen off the back. Okay, we're going to come into single leg circles. So this one is, I'm going to show you the floor version of this one. For those of you who want to come and join me down on the floor, this is going to work hip mobility and strength around the hip complex and lower abdominal work as well. And then I will show you the seated version for those of you who are staying seated. So on the floor, we are on our back, one knee bent, one foot towards the ceiling, hands about 45 degrees away from the body. In fact, I'm going to get you to just place your fingertips onto the tops of your hips. So, because we don't want the hips to roll, we take the leg to the outside of the body, sweep it down and round, and then back up through the center. So, more of a D shape than a circle. So, it's slow and it's controlled. If you get a clicking or clunking in your hip, not a problem as long as it doesn't hurt, but if you really don't like the feel of it, just decrease the range of the circle. The bigger the circle, the more you're going to be working to keep the core nice and steady. So we'll do both sides. So guys who are coming down to the floor, make your way down to the floor while I show the guys in the chairs what we are going to do. So it's a little bit more tricky to get that circular motion. So we're going to focus on sitting up nice and tall, and we're going to step to the side and bring that leg back in. So we're getting some hip mobility and some strength work. So we're going to step and bring it back in. So that's going to be our version of it. So we've got that side step, okay? So guys on the floor, lying on your back, you might like a cushion or block underneath the back of the head. Start with both knees bent, both feet flat on the floor. And then when you are ready, you're going to send one leg to the ceiling. So take aim with that toe, point that toe. I'm going to do a seated version, then I'm going to come join in with you on the floor. So make sure the back of the pelvis is on the floor, that you're not pushing through that foot. Okay, so the back of the pelvis stays on the floor. Take a breath in, everybody. When you breathe out, take the leg to the outside, sweep down around and bring that leg back up through the center. So keep going, guys, on the floor. So leg out to the side, sweep down around and then back up to the center. So hands just on top of those hip bones and even seated, because we don't want any rotation going at the waist. We only want the rotation at the hip. So make sure you're not breathing. Make sure you're breathing. Ideally, your out breath is when you send the leg away from the body. Breathe in when you bring that leg back in. That's it. Keep going. Do one more. And then rest that leg down, bring that foot to the floor. Okay, we're going to switch sides. So guys seated, we're going to stay with the other side with that outward step. Guys on the floor, I'm going to come join you with this one. So take that leg towards the ceiling, hands on hips to give you some feedback. Take a breath in. As you breathe out, leg to the outside. Sweep it down and round and then back up through the center. So keep going. That pace that you've got is good. Slower the better, nice and precise, drawing the D shape with that big toe. Making sure that we haven't got any rotation at the waist, bracing through those tummy muscles, that corset of muscle wrapping around the front of the body, and that you definitely are breathing. That's it. And then do one more. And then rest it down. Okay, bring the feet to the floor. Guys who are on the floor, you're going to rock the knees side to side. Guys who are on the chairs, we're going to rock the knees in and out, because we get a little bit more movement into the hip in that way. Okay. And then bring everything back to the center. Guys who are on the floor, if you make your way to a seated position, just come in and have a little watch in. We're going to come into a single leg press. Just because I'm seated, I'm going to show you this version. We're going to bring the knee out to the side and send the leg away. The knee comes then round to the top. So we've got the outward positions. We've just warmed up the hips, and we send that leg away. So we've got some mobility of rotation at the hip, and then we're also going to be working those quadriceps, lower abdominals. On the floor, it looks like this. So a tabletop leg, knee drops to the outside. Then we send that leg away, so we're now in a diagonal position, and then we take the knee to the outside. Send the leg away. So again, we're working the muscles around the hip, lower abdominals, quadriceps, hip flexors now. Okay? So that's what that looks like. We're going to do it single legs. So come join me here. When you're ready, take that one leg to a tabletop position. And then let the knee just drop to the outside. So we've got a little rotation at the hip, more of a V shape. So see if you can drop that knee to the outside. So we are going to drop the knee to the outside. Take a breath in as you breathe out. So send that leg away. Point the toe. We're in a nice diagonal shape, nice and straight. Knee is now rolled round to the top. And then draw that leg back in and drop the knee to the side. Take a breath in as we breathe out. Send the leg away. Roll the knee so that now the leg is straight and the knee is on top. And then draw the leg back in and let the knee drop to the side. That's it. Just do a couple more while I have a little look at you. Draw the leg in, knee to the outside. And then the leg straightens and now is straight down the center. That's it. And then rest that leg down. Okay, we're going to go the other side. So bring that leg up to tabletop and then drop the knee out to the side. So drop that knee out to the side. So we've got that rotation at the hip. Take a breath in as we breathe out. Slide that leg away, send the leg away, point the toe, and then draw the leg back in, let the knee drop out to the side. That's it. Send that leg away. Point the toe, nice straight leg, and then draw the leg in, let the knee drop out to the side. So just keep going with a couple more of those. Again, ideally, our out breath is when we send the leg away. That's it. And then rest that leg down. And again, guys on the floor, let the knees rock side to side. Guys on the chairs, we're going to rock our knees in and out. Okay. And then bring yourselves onto your side, find your way through to a seated position. We're going to have a look at a swan press, and then we're going to come into swimmer position, and we're going to work on shoulders and upper back. So I'm going to show you a series of movements, and then I will talk you through, and I will show you the chair version as well. Very similar when we're on the chair. So our swan press, we're in a garden fork position with the arms to begin with. And we're going to gradually come up off the floor. So we'll hover the forehead, maybe a little bit higher, maybe a bit higher, depends on what's going on with our backs. So that's our swan press. It may well be that you stay low, lift and lower. Then we're coming into swimmer. So I've just changed the block round into portrait, and my arms are above my head. Now, if this is no good for shoulders, you can stay in a garden fork position. We're going to sweep the arm round into a tricep lift, and we sweep the arm back. We'll do single arms and then double arms here. So you could start from here and come down to protect those shoulders. One or two of you, I know your backs are super strong. If you want a little bit more, we're going to add in that upper body raise. I know some of you will be all right with that one. I'm only going to add two of those because that's very strong for the back. So guys who are on the floor, you come bring yourself into that front lying position while I talk to the seated guys. Instead of the swan press, we're going to do some little extensions. Okay, so we've got these little extensions, and then we're going to do the same thing with the arms. Okay, so we'll do one arm at a time. I think we'll let the other arm rest down. So we're going to do this movement with the arms, then we'll do two. Okay, I'll do it with you. Okay, so it's shoulders, triceps, all the muscles into the back of the shoulder. Don't worry, I'll do it with you anyway. Okay, so extensions. Guys on the floor, if you bring your hands into a garden fork or a cactus position, guys on the chairs, we're going to support our back. So hands, if we're seated, we're going to support our back. Guys on the floor, garden fork or cactus. Lorna, be super careful with this one. Okay, so on the first one, we're going to hover the forehead and chest just a couple of inches off the mat or the block, and we're going to come into a little extension seated. So take a breath in. As you breathe out, hover the forehead, hover the chest. We've got a little extension here. That's it. And then gently lower down. Okay, we're going to come up a little bit higher on the next one, so stay with that extension, guys. So guys on the floor, if you want to come up a little bit higher, do so, but keep the elbows and the hands on the floor. Take a breath in. As you breathe out, we're pushing the floor away, elbows and hands still in contact with the floor, still looking at the mat or the block. Gently lower down. And then on this next one, you can straighten the arms as much as you want to, or stay low if you need to. Take a breath in. As we breathe out, we push the floor away. So this is our swan press. A little bit of an extra squeeze on those glutes. So still pushing the floor with the hands, and then gently lower down. Take the hands to wherever is comfortable. Guys on the chair, just take a little rock from side to side through those hips. Release the arms. And then guys on the floor, if you are able to come into swimmer so that your arms are straight overhead, then do. If your shoulders are not going to want to do that, then stay in a garden fork position with the arms. Stay in that cactus position. So you can move from this position. Okay, so you might need to just check the space around you so that you're not going to sweep up anyone or anything on the way around. Okay, so if we all start with our left arm, so guys, you'll be mirroring me, so we're going to come into a cactus position, okay? So left arm. Guys on the floor, hover that left arm, and then sweep the arm round to your hip, turn your palm over, and then send your palm to the ceiling. Bring the hand back down to your hip, and then sweep it back round to its starting point. Okay, we're going to switch arms. So your right arm, take a breath in. As we breathe out, we sweep the arm round to your hip, turn the palm over, send the palm to the ceiling, bring the hand back down to the hip, and we bring that arm back to that starting position. Okay, let's do the same thing again. One each side. So your left arm, raise the arm, sweep the arm round to your hip, then send the palm to the ceiling, bring the palm down, turn the palm over, sweep it back round. Other side, your right arm, raise the arm, sweep it back round to the hip. Palm to the ceiling, raise the arm, back to your hip, turn the palm over, back to the starting point. Okay, if you want to, you're going to have a go with both arms on this next one. If that feels too much, then do one each side, because we're going to do two either with double arms or one each side. Okay, so we're in our cactus position or our swimmer position. Take a breath in. As we breathe out, raise the arms, sweep the arms round to the hip, palms to the ceiling. That's it. Bring the arms down. Turn the palms over. We sweep the arms back to the starting point. Switch sides or doubles again. Breathe in and breathe out. Sweep the arms round. Hands round to the hip, palms to the ceiling. Really working those shoulders. Hands to the hip. And then leave the arms there. Tuck the hands to wherever is comfortable. Give those hips a rock from side to side. Okay. So, if you want a little bit of extra back strength work, I'm going to get you guys on the floor to hover the upper body. So you're hovering the chest, hovering the arms, hovering the forehead. Guys on the chairs, we can add a little extension in to make the back work that little bit harder if you want to. Otherwise, keep the head down or we stay upright. All right? So, arms back to garden fork or swimmer. I'm going to cue the upper body raise. So we lean back if you want a little bit more. Double arms, we're going to do two, but we will rest in between. Okay, so swimmer arms or garden fork. Take a breath in. As we breathe out, raise the arms. Hover the forehead, maybe the chest. Then sweep the arms round to your hip. Palms to the ceiling. Bring the hands back down. Turn the palms over. Sweep the arms back round. And rest it down. Okay, one more, up to you to decide whether you want to add that back work in as well. Take a breath in. As you breathe out, raise the upper body. Sweep the arms round to your hip, palms to the ceiling or palms behind. Bring the hands back down. Sweep the arms back round to your finished position and rest it down. Ooh. I know that stuff. I know that stuff. Bring your hands to wherever is comfortable. Give the hips a rock from side to side. So that is working, well, I'm sure you can feel, back strength, the muscles around the backs of the shoulder blades, which will help bring, and chest muscles or chest lengthening to bring your posture back into nice alignment. So it's really all about that upper back strength. Okay, guys, on the floor, just to release the back out of this position, you've got two options, either pushing up and over to child's pose, or rolling onto your back and hugging your knees in. Guys on the chairs, take a little rock from side to side, give the shoulders a roll, just have a little move around. So guys on the floor, we could push up through 4-point kneeling, take the knees wide, sit back on the heels, come to child's pose. I would suggest tucking your hands, stacking the hands, one on top of the other, underneath the forehead, and let the forehead rest on those hands. You could roll onto your back and hug your knees in if child's pose was not a suitable position to come into. So this is a release position. Take a few deep breaths here. And then bring yourself up to a seated position. We've got one more strength exercise that we're going to do before we have a stretch out. This is going to work our abdominals and our obliques. So this is part of our abdominals, but we've got our obliques, internal, external obliques here in the side of the waist. So it's going to get a little bit of work into there. So have a little look at where we're going with this one. So we're on the floor, we're lying on our back. We're going to take our fingertips to our temples. Elbow is coming towards knee. So you can keep your head down, and that is going to be the most protective version. So we're going to repeat on one side. So we've got this twist, and we're trying to bring our rib cage to our hips. Now, I know some of you are strong and your necks, you're happy with the neck. If you want to add an upper body raise and rest down, then you can. But remember, it's not chin to chest, it's not that movement. It's rib cage to hips. I've got an imaginary peach under my chin that I'm going to keep there, not squash or not drop. So here, or some of you will go here. We're going to repeat on one side. So guys who are on the floor, come and find that position while I show the guys on the chair our version. So we're going to be here, and we're going to come across. Okay? So we're going to bring a knee up, we're going to bring that elbow. So we've got a little bit of rotation, opposite elbow, opposite knee. So other elbow, so mirror me, this leg, that's it. There, that's it, you got it. Okay, right then guys, so decide which elbow and which knee. So I'm going to go with my right elbow and my left knee. If you're mirroring me, guys, that would be your right elbow, okay? Right then, let's give that a go. Fingertips to temples. Take a breath in. As we breathe out, we take the elbow to the knee. Rib cage to hips. Rest it down. Keep going on the same side, elbow to knee. And rest it down. So keep going on the same side. What I want you to really think about is bringing the rib cage towards your hips. You've got an imaginary peach underneath your chin, whether we're seated or on the floor. We're not squashing it, but we're not dropping it either. So, oblique muscles, hip flexors. Muscles around the hips are working here. Ideally, our out breath is when we bring the knee up. Do one more. And then rest it down. Okay, release the arms, just have a little wiggle around. We're going to go the other side. So, fingertips back to temples. I'm going left knee to right. No. I shouldn't say left and right, so I get myself confused. Left elbow to right knee, but it doesn't matter. As long as you're doing the other side, I go on the other side. So when we get that rotation, use the out breath. Bring your elbow to knee. That's it. Rib cage to hips. So really think about bringing that rib cage down towards the hips to really get those abdominals firing up. We're going to do two more here. And last one. And then rest it down. Okay, give those knees a rock from side to side, in and out if we're seated on the chair. And we're going to come into a little stretch off whilst we're on the floor here. So guys on the floor, keep those knees rocking from side to side. Bring the hands away from the body and just come into those little hip rolls. Guys on the chair, we're going to keep going with the in and out version of the knees. And then guys on the floor, let the knees drop down to one side and leave them there. Guys on the chair, take a hand across the thigh and just look towards your opposite shoulder. So we're getting a similar sort of twist. Guys on the floor, if you would like to turn the head in the opposite direction to your legs, it's going to give you a corkscrew effect around the spine. And just stay here and breathe for a few moments. A long breath in through the nose, out through the mouth. I'm just going to show you the floor version, what the floor version looks like. And then bring the knees back to the center. Okay, guys on the floor, you're going to let the knees drop to the opposite side. Maybe turn the head in the opposite direction. And then guys on the chair, I'm sure you've already swapped, but we switch legs. That's it, you've got it. Switch legs and we can look over that shoulder. So we've got a twist. And then bring everything back to the center. Guys on the floor, take one leg towards the ceiling. Guys on the chair, we're going to extend one leg. Guys on the floor, grab that leg and pull it into the body, not behind that knee joint, so either the calf or the thigh. Guys on the chair, we're going to lean forward, and that gives us a hamstring stretch for everybody. So guys on the floor, straighten that leg towards the ceiling. If you can, that's it. If you've got flexible hamstrings and you want more of a stretch, straighten your other leg away along the floor. And that will just increase that stretch a little bit more. So just going to show the floor version, and we're here. And then bring that leg down, switch legs, extend the other leg away. Bring that leg into the body. Guys on the chair, we're going to hinge forward at the hip. If you want a little bit more of a hamstring stretch on the floor, you can send that other leg away. And then bring that back into the center. Okay. Guys on the floor, hug your knees into your chest. Guys on the chairs, we'll just take one leg at a time and just bring that leg up into the body. So guys on the floor, hug the knees into the chest. Give the knees a little rock from side to side. And we're just going to give that leg a little squeeze in. That's it. And then bring the feet to the floor. Guys on the floor, find your way through to a seated position or kneeling, whatever you prefer. And then when you're ready, we'll take some rolls through those shoulders. So legs, whatever is comfortable. That's it. And then one more backwards. And then just bring the hands to the side. On the floor, we're going to slide the hand away. Bring the opposite arm up and over. Keep the sit bones equal, whether that's on the chair or on the floor or block. Lengthen through the side of the body. And then we come to the other side. So send the hand away, arm up and over. Sit bones just in contact with the floor. And then bring that back to the center. Reset those shoulders. If you're on the floor and you would like to make your way to the chair, we'll finish off seated up on the chair. So bring yourself up, but do take your time. No rush to come up. Whilst we're just getting everybody into position, take some more rolls through those shoulders. Just move the neck around. Okay, and we're going to do just a little bit more loosening off for the neck. Turn to look over the shoulder, and then look down towards the armpit. Look back up over the shoulder, through the center, over to the other side. Look down to the armpit. Back to the center, and then bring chin to chest. And then eye gaze to the ceiling. Excuse me. Reset those shoulders. We're going to shuffle to the front of the chair. Oh, I need a drink. And we're going to take our 3 floats of the arms to finish as we usually do. Take a breath in. As we breathe out, we float up. And then bring the hands down. Breathe in and breathe out. We float up. Bring the hands down. Last one. Breathe in and breathe out. Bring your hands down to your sides. And we'll finish there. Well done, everybody. Well done, everyone. I'm going to pause this.